Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Worlds Collide, featuring Punisher this week, and I'm joined by my host, Mitch, as usual. Should we tell them?
Sure, Justin.
Thank you. I'm Justin.
All right, so welcome to our episode on The Punisher. One of the most grittiest, darkest, most violent characters in popular comics.
He's one of my favorite, just like the fact that he's a little different.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Arrow's DC. He's good, but he'll kill you. And he's not even good.
He's more violent than Arrow from...
I didn't know who else to compare him to. Arrow is the most violent guy I could think of in DC that is considered a good guy.
The closest thing that we've seen in the main media, like TV shows and movies combined, I would say the closest thing we've gotten to the Punisher, that's not the Punisher, would have been Rorschach / the comedian in Watchmen.
Okay. I can dig it. I feel it.
Combine those two, you got Punisher.
Yeah, that's true. Comedian's sick bastard and Rorschach's not much better.
No, exactly.
Okay. I feel
obviously we're going to be talking about the Punisher. We're going to be talking about the Netflix show heavily because it is fantastic. If anybody has not watched the Netflix series The Punisher, it's on the same line as Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist.
No. You said too many. It's just on the same level as Daredevil.
Well, like, it's in the same storyline.
Absolutely.
Yes. Quality-wise, it's at the same level as Daredevil. As a matter of fact, I would probably rank Punisher as a whole a better series than Daredevil as a whole.
Okay.
It's debatable.
It would be debatable, and for me,
it
would be a very neck and neck tie too. And for the sake of it, we didn't really get a story wrap up for Daredevil, per se. Like now, what happens with Kingpin?
More than Luke Cage did, or Iron Fist.
Oh, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I'm like, I've invested 3 seasons now into Daredevil, though. I want to wrap it up. Where now, what happens with Kingpin? And I want to see Bullseye again.
3.5.
You know, yeah.
3.5 seasons. You had Defenders. This is 0.5 of a season.
Okay, I was like, where are you getting this half a season from?
Well, technically, there's 4 members of the Defenders, so 3.25. 3.25.
True. So yeah, like Punisher is fantastic. Season 1, great. Came out the gate strong.
Yeah.
Appearing in Daredevil, even better.
Yeah. Well. No, the season he was great in Daredevil.
I like just that we got to see him and we got to see the crossover.
Yeah.
I like to see him appear in Daredevil and show that, look, yeah, Daredevil's one thing and he's something different.
Yeah. When I first watched Daredevil season 2 and introduced the Punisher, I've told multiple people that I knew the instant there's one particular scene in Daredevil season 2 that made me realize that these guys get the Punisher. These writers / directors, this creative team, plus John Bernthal, the actor, they understand who the Punisher is. And that scene is, spoilers if you haven't watched it yet, in Daredevil season 2. There's the first time you actually get introduced to Frank Castle. He's going to the pawn shop to buy some guns. And as he's on his various other armaments, as he was leaving the pawn shop, the pawn store owner tried to sell him kitty porn. Oh, yeah. That's when Frank stopped. He looked down as if telling himself, "Why'd you have to go and say that?" Closes the shop, locks it, closes the door, grabs a bat. End scene. You don't see what happens, but you know exactly what was going to happen.
Exactly what.
That guy's going to get a hurt on, and he's going to be unalived.
Frank can turn a blind eye, but don't involve family or kids.
No.
He can turn a little blind eye if it serves his greater purpose, right? Like if he's got like an agenda, and if fucking with this is gonna, ruin his plan, he's gonna be like, you know what, I'll come back for you later.
Punisher
So for now, he'll turn the blind eye.
Punisher has Actually, I would disagree with that. Punisher is less likely to turn a blind eye than somebody like Batman or Spider-Man.
Really?
Even more so.
Okay, I guess because they see so many vigilantes and so many, or not vigilantes, so many criminals.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, that they're like, well, I got a bigger fish to fry because they got big villains.
Exactly.
To also deal with.
Exactly. Punisher is the type of person where if you committed a crime, I'm not talking jaywalking. I'm talking theft, murder, rape, anything that could put you in jail. Really, Punisher has a hard time letting that go. Case in point, this story in Civil War. So as you see, I brought some comics with us, and this comic in particular comes from the actual comic storyline of Civil War. Now, in this comic of Civil War, you see this one part where Punisher ends up joining Captain America's side, and these villains come and try to join Captain America's side as well, because what happens in Civil War is Tony Stark starts hiring villains to capture people who don't want to register the Registration Act in Civil War. So some of the villains don't want to join Tony Stark. They're 100% against this Registration Act, so they join Captain America's side. They try. They try. Yes, they do, because they go into Captain America's the rebellion, the rebellion headquarters, and they get 2 sentences. So they got right here. They got these 2 bubbles of words, and then Punisher hoses them down. Right in front of Captain America, right in front of Spider-Man, right in front of all those heroes. These criminals were willing to help their side, and even though they are offering to help their side, because they were criminals, Punisher could not let that go, and he wasted them.
But that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, that's pure chaotic. That's lawful.
It's uncompromising.
Is that chaotic lawful?
Neutral. Lawful neutral. True lawful.
I love it, though.
Well, no, true lawful would be somebody who doesn't break the law ever, and murdering, I'm pretty sure, is against the law.
But, like, literally, they're going to have to deal with those assholes on a later date.
Yeah.
He just fucking knocked off 2 baddies.
Yeah.
Kudos to him.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Punisher's chaotic good.
Yeah.
Punisher is chaotic good with a very strong code. A very strong, unbending code.
Yeah. Unbreakable. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they would make him neutral good.
The alignment. He's a
mix. It would be neutral good because...
He's a hard pick, huh?
Well, because neutral good means that you will follow the law when it suits you and you will break the law when it suits you.
Robin Hood.
As long as it suits the purposes of the greater good.
He's a lot like Robin Hood.
Yes. More extreme, but yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
If only Robin had guns, he might be the olden day Punisher.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And, having his family murdered in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about his origin. A lot of people already know Punisher's origin because they did it very faithfully in the show and in every one of his movies. There's been 3 movies of Punisher. Punisher made appearances in a few cartoons, and he's had his Netflix series.
Okay, so let's start with the first.
All right, so the first movie came out in the early 90s, I want to say.
And that's Dolph?
It's starring Dolph Lundgren. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's worth it.
Haven't seen it.
I've seen it once, maybe twice.
I'd watch it just to see.
Yeah, it's serviceable for its time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third one I always forget about.
Yeah, that's the one with Ray Stevenson.
Warzone.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's the one I watched once and was like, the fuck?
Yeah, well, I watched it once. I understood what they were going for. Punisher is known for insane violence, and that's what this movie was.
That's all.
It was focusing on Punisher's insane ability to kill.
Insatiable lust for shooting guns and seeing blood.
And killing people.
That was all it was.
And then the middle ground is Thomas Jane one. The Thomas Jane one.
And I like that one.
Yeah,
that
me
one's the
too.
one I've seen multiple times, and I think you're a big fan of the intro, the way that
Yeah.
they actually showed his origin. They went above and beyond the comic.
They did.
Because the comic is, was it Central Park?
Yeah. Central Park, there was...
Just his immediate family.
Yeah, it was just his immediate family,
His wife.
and it wasn't on purpose at the time.
No, it was incidental. Like,
Yeah.
bad play, wrong place, wrong time.
Exactly.
They went to their family home, retreat on the water. Like,
This had malice.
yeah, everyone was there. Like, this was planned out in advance. It was like someone sold him out.
Yeah.
And they came, they killed his whole family. It was like a family reunion.
Yeah.
Slaughtered everyone.
Extended family.
30 seconds, you see like everyone die.
Cousins, aunts. Much like the eradication of the Greys.
Oh, yes, if you haven't seen, was it episode 8 on our Phoenix Force?
Yeah, on Phoenix.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so they did that excellent. And then the pain that Thomas Jane is a great actor.
Yeah.
Something else that showcases acting ability. If any watchers out there hasn't seen The Expanse, I highly recommend The Expanse. A good sci-fi show starring Thomas Jane. But Thomas Jane was a great actor in this once again. That scene where he sees his wife die, get ran over. It was painful to watch. He's a good actor.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he gets riddled with bullets, kicked in the water, and manages to wash downstream and survive, and thus the Punisher was born.
Yeah.
Right? Because now he's got nothing left but vengeance.
Yeah. And his fight with Kevin Nash, the Russian, is almost page for page out of the comic. There is a comic book series of the Punisher where he fights a big Russian called the Russian that wears a striped sailor shirt, just like Kevin Nash was wearing in this movie.
It's a blue and white striped sailor shirt.
Yeah. It looked exactly the same. So it's page for page, right out of the comics into this movie.
And it was like a no holds bar, like use any object available. They're throwing each other through walls. They're in a dingy old apartment, just beating the shit out of each other with everything that they had within arm's reach.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. And I told you before that this movie, The Punisher, is the one that introduced me to John Pinette, who sadly has now passed. Fantastic comedian. If you never checked out John Pinette, YouTube him. His humor is food-based, hunger-based, fat-based. So his comedy skits are "Feed Me, I'm Starving," or "I'm Still Starving," or "I'm Hungry," or "I'm Still Hungry."
These are all the names of his hit titles.
Yeah. Hilarious. He was in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And what scene did we see him in again?
He was.
The funeral?
No. He's one of the neighbors. He's one of the outcast.
Oh yes.
The fat outcast neighbor.
Yep. Because there's like the 3 oddballs or whatever in the apartment. The girl, the skinny guy, and the fat guy.
Yeah.
He's the fat guy.
And the skinny guy is.
Is that from the movie The New Guy? Fuck, was it him?
No.
I can't remember the thing. Yeah.
If I am not mistaken.
Too many actors, so many movies. I remember the skinny guy more than I remember the performance of the Warzone Punisher.
See, the skinny guy, I am 90% sure. It is. He plays Angel in X-Men 3. Ben Foster?
In X-Men 3?
Yeah, X-Men 3. He's the one who plays Angel.
Oh, and who then goes...
Yeah, the pointless character.
Yeah.
They brought him in for the movie. They did his introduction. Do nothing for him the entire movie. And the only thing they do with him is at the end of the movie, he flies out the window and saves his dad. That was his arc.
Yeah, the dude with wings.
So pointless. Anyways, all right, we're getting off track.
X-Men 3 was a lot of pointlessness.
Yes, it was. So let's talk about some of the notable events around Frank Castle.
Okay.
So, first of all, his first appearance was with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. So here I have a card, actually. It's one of the old Marvel cards from 1994. And this is the Spider-Man and Punisher Spidey's greatest team-ups. On the back here we have a little Daily Bugle blog of Spider-Man and Punisher. Rash of brutal underworld murders apparently committed by Spider-Man were revealed to have actually been the work of criminal chemist Dwight Farron, alias the Master of Vengeance. As part of a plot against the Wallcrawler, Farron's masquerade brought the notorious vigilante called the Punisher on Spider-Man's trail, and the two engaged in a fierce battle. But when Farron's duplicity was revealed, the pair grudgingly formed a temporary alliance to subdue him. Spider-Man prevented the Punisher from murdering the Master of Vengeance, but was unable to keep the elusive vigilante from once again escaping the police. So there you go. That's his origin.
Yeah.
Appearing in, I forget whatever issue, I think it's like 164 or 167 of Spider-Man in the comics, but there you have it. Spidey.
Actually, this is 1993. Spider-Man number 32 to 34, March to May 1993. That's funny because that is eerily similar to his actual origin with Spider-Man, which took place in 1974.
Yeah.
But in 1974, replaced Dwight, whatever his name is.
So this would have been his origin. Technically.
Yeah, but replaced Dwight with the Jackal.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. So in 1974, what happened was, this was after Green Goblin killed Gwen Stacy, dropped her off the bridge, and then Norman and Spider-Man fight, and Norman ends up dying accidentally. We'll go more in details on this when we do a Spider-Man centric episode or Green Goblin centric episode or both.
There's gonna be both.
Yes, but Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, dies during that fight against Spider-Man, not a Spider-Man's fault.
Kills himself with his own glider.
That's right, just like in the Sam Raimi movie.
Yes, so in the very first Spider-Man, we actually see at the end as he's pouring his heart out, trying to get Spider-Man to drop his guard.
Yeah.
And he's secretly sending his glider back around to come flying in to stab Spidey. Spiders senses tingle. Last second, he jumps out of the way. Boom! Pierces himself to the wall.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened in the comics.
It was a good scene. I
It
like
was.
it.
Although, where the glider stabbed him, that's nowhere near his heart. That was like his abdomen or his solar plex. Even his lower abdomen, I think it hit him pretty low.
They should have asked someone who's like ever seen like a corpse or something. Like, I don't know. Like, come on, guys.
It still would have killed him. It got him right in the
higher.
guts.
Would have been a slow bleed.
Yes.
Slow bleed. Well, he got to talk and moan for a bit. I think that's the point.
All he did was tell Harry I'm sorry.
That's what I mean. Yeah, Hart, he wouldn't have really got to say that.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell Harry. That's what he said. Don't tell Harry. Yeah.
But Harry finds out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a pretty good intro. And then from there, he has a whole bunch of other team-ups. X-Men.
Well, so I haven't got to that yet. So after Green Goblin got killed during his fight with Spider-Man, somebody had twisted the news, made it seem like Spider-Man was responsible for Norman Osborn's death.
As if it was an intentional.
That's right.
Spider-Man murdered Norman Osborn.
That's right.
And it was Norman Osborn, and they almost forgot that. Hey, guess what? He's Green Goblin.
That's right. And I'm pretty sure the Jackal was one who manipulated that story to make Spider-Man the villain. The reason why the Jackal hates Spider-Man so much is because when the Jackal is actually Miles Warren, who was the professor of Peter and Gwen, and he actually had a crush on Gwen.
Yeah.
So when Gwen died, Miles found out and blamed Spider-Man, also known as Peter Parker. Somehow he found out that Spider-Man was Peter Parker. So he blamed Peter Parker, Spider-Man, for the death of Gwen Stacy. So he made his mission to destroy his life. Similar to Venom.
Yeah, sounds about right. It sounds like a lot of Spider-Man's villains find out who the fuck he is, and then just want to fuck his life up. Just
not
like
a lot, just the more important ones.
I suppose. Well, fuck, he has so many.
Yeah, well, so Jackal knows his identity.
Vulture?
No, Vulture doesn't know.
Just in the movie.
Just in the movie.
Okay. Mysterio? Just in the movie.
Just in the movie.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, this is bullshit. They're just spilling all the stories, all the secrets in the movies.
That's the one consistent thing in all the movies, TV shows. All these superheroes are shit at keeping their identities secret. In the comics, nobody knew who the Hulk was for the longest time. Spider-Man was the first superhero to ever find out that the Hulk was Bruce Banner.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, in the comics, they were much better at keeping their identities secret.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, anyways, getting back on track on the Punisher, why I'm talking about all this is the Jackal was using this news to paint Spider-Man in a bad picture, and he ends up hiring the Punisher, or seeking out the Punisher, to have to team up with the Punisher to take out Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is a murderer, a criminal, and Punisher won't stand for a murderer running around New York, superpowered or not.
Yeah.
So Punisher was trying to kill Spider-Man in his first appearance.
I'm here to kill you.
Yeah.
I heard you murdered someone.
Jackal does something that was dishonorable, and Punisher didn't like that. Then he started cueing in that, hey, wait a minute, I'm finding the wrong side. The Jackal's the asshole here.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So
Punisher and Spider-Man teamed up. They defeated the Jackal, or he chased off the Jackal. I don't think they actually. I think Jackal got away. That's what he does.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have gotten killed by Punisher.
Yeah.
Because Spider probably wouldn't have let him.
Well, no, the Jackal. There's so much more that Jackal's responsible for afterwards.
Well, that's what I mean.
The
His
Jackal's
timeline needs
the
to
Jackal's
continue.
responsible for the Clone Saga. We'll get to that.
I'm like, let's not start.
No, not today.
Not today.
So after that, for the next 6 years, Punisher made guest appearances in 20 or so separate comics, varying from not necessarily teaming up or versus, just appearances in issues of Spider-Man, X-Men, Captain America, I think Ghost Rider.
That makes sense.
Made appearances, a whole bunch of different. I think I wrote it
Before
down.
he ever got his own standalone, and then once he finally got his own standalone, what year was that? 97?
86. 86 was his first solo series.
Oh wow. Okay.
Which was just like a limited series. The thing was like 4 or 5 parts. And then 87 is when he got his first ongoing series.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this one's actually later then.
Yes, that's 1991.
Oh, so okay. So this was much later.
Yes. So in the 90s, that's where they introduced Microchip in the first season of Punisher. That his guy in the chair, Micro, he was just known Micro in the series, in the Netflix show. But in the comics, he's Microchip, but Micro for short, so Micro works.
Okay.
He ends up dying later on, like in the late 90s, so he's no longer Punisher's guy in the chair. But he was Punisher's guy in the chair. I think he got replaced for a little bit by somebody else, but now Punisher's solo. He doesn't have a guy in the chair.
I was gonna say at some point he's probably just gonna go standalone, right? Like,
Yeah. But to me, like, I grew up reading comics in the 90s. So to me, every time somebody mentions guy in a chair, so like Cisco in The Flash, or Felicia in Arrow, or Felicity. Or Brainiac / Win in Supergirl. You have what's his name? Peter's best friend in the movies. Ned in the recent Spider-Man movies.
You mean Hobgoblin?
What's that?
Hobgoblin.
No, Ned.
Third on.
His uncle becomes Hobgoblin.
But he's supposed to become the third Hobgoblin.
Yes. But anyways, he's Spider-Man's guy in a chair. But every time somebody mentions guy in a chair, I think Microchip. Okay. To me, Microchip is the quintessential guy in a chair.
Well, he's the.
I don't know if he's the OG.
He's
but
the one that was most needed.
Yes.
Because for all the other ones, they're all superpowered.
Yes.
You don't really need the guy in the chair. He's just for that quick, ear to the ground and. You know, finger on the trigger, ready to send the pulse of whatever's happening around that city back to them without them just fucking patrolling all day, wasting time.
Yeah.
That's really their whole purpose. With Microchip, he's kind of like, okay, so here's the details. I looked into his background. I did this. I did that.
He can watch Punisher's back with like
he's just a foot patrol. At the end of the day, like Punisher's still a man.
Yes.
He's
not invincible, so he needs that backup.
And you've seen many times throughout the show him just getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
But the thing with Punisher is he doesn't stay down and he's gonna keep coming back.
He's tenacious.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's the only thing keeping him in the fight 90% of the time.
Yeah. So in the 90s, he had multiple series. He had his main Punisher run. He also had Punisher Warzone, Punisher War Journal, and Punisher Armories. And some of those kept on going. Some of them got canceled. Punisher, as a whole, all his series got canceled, like the late 90s, early 2000s. He kept going. He still remained a popular character, but not popular enough to sell comics.
Just to make Netflix shows.
Yeah.
And movies.
Yeah. So.
Says more than a lot of the characters out there who are selling comics.
That's right. That's right. Because Punisher is kind of easier to do because he's an action star.
And at the same time, he's human.
Yeah.
He's one of us, so you'll get those people out there who are like, oh, yeah, superheroes. It's not really a superhero movie.
No.
You can sell this to the 99% of the world.
Call it something else.
Not just 50-50.
Call it something else other than Punisher and remove the Marvel logo.
People wouldn't know.
And you've got a 90s action movie.
You're damn right. You're damn right. It's like Cobra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even like, it's like on par with any Sylvester Stallone story.
Well, that's Cobra.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I was.
Well, I was thinking of like the Expendables kind of.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
Shoot 'em up. Kill 'em all.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah. Bruce Willis, Mel Gibson.
Yep.
Payback.
It's every Die Hard, Lethal Weapon,
Yeah.
every one of those, but he does not have a badge.
Yeah.
He's doing it anyway.
Yeah.
That's the great thing. Because how would you classify him? Would he be hero, the villain, anti-hero, vigilante?
He is a hero. He's a vigilante. He's the reason why cops are against vigilantism. He is a realistic portrayal of vigilantism. In real life, a vigilante won't be going around beating criminals up. They'd be going off killing people. Punisher is a real life vigilante. So, getting to the modern age of Punisher. So Punisher was involved in Civil War. Obviously, I've got these comics of Civil War. And then in the aftermath of Civil War and also the Skrull invasion, he was trying to find his place in this new world that he's in. There was a series where he ended up fighting Daken, Wolverine's son. Dakon, I think.
Yeah, Deacon.
Deacon? It's Wolverine's son. Punisher ends up fighting Wolverine's son, and Wolverine's son kills the Punisher. And then, this is where things get flipped completely upside down. So everything that we just said about the Punisher, being human, being normal with no powers, Punisher dies and gets resurrected as Frankencastle. So he is a Franken-monster castle. Frank Castle. Is a Frankenstein monster Punisher. He has the scar across his head and the bolts and big fucking guns. And this series showed him fighting on behalf of Marvel's underground monsters, like people like Morbius and Vermin.
Yeah, recruited by what are the mutants in X-Men?
The Morlocks.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
He basically got recruited by the Morlocks.
Yeah, fighting for the Morlocks against an army of samurai.
Where the fuck did they come from?
It's like completely left field. It is bananas. I haven't read it. It sounds hilarious.
It's like Samurai Jack meets Scooby-Doo's 13 Nights of Halloween or something.
You just reminded me of something. So, Punisher has been through a lot of crossovers as well. Stepping back from his current continuity right now, just want to take a quick 5 minutes to talk about all his side projects.
Okay, what else has he been in?
Okay, so he's been in a What If Punisher Killed the Marvel Universe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where his origin changed so that instead of the death of his wife and kids to a gang shootout, it was a supervillain beatdown. During a supervillain fight, his wife and kids got killed. So Punisher's mission went from killing all criminals to killing all supers.
It's like in The Gifted, the one agent.
Yeah. Yeah.
His little daughter dies. And
because super beings decided to have a fight.
Yes. Exactly like that.
Yeah. So Punisher made his goal to kill all supers, good or bad, doesn't matter. All supers must die. And like in this, they showed him kill Spider-Man and Venom, Captain America, Hawkeye, the Hulk. The last one standing was Wolverine, but he even managed to kill Wolverine.
What does he kill him all with?
Spider-Man and Venom, they were fighting in the sewers, and he dropped some
electricity.
high voltage power lines into the sewers.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that's the only one I remember off the top of my head. I forgot how.
I'm just thinking, how do you kill half these guys? Bullets don't work.
Yeah.
How do you kill the Hulk?
By killing Bruce Banner. Depends on the writer, and this is a what if, so it's not canon, and obviously the writer's going to take liberties to put things in Punisher's advantage.
Oh, absolutely, he has to. Well, he's a hired gun who's just sneaking up on all these guys at grocery shopping and doing their gym workout and shit, making breakfast, and he's going pow, pow, pow.
Pretty much. So
yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, another crossover. I actually had this. I don't remember what happens in it. I don't remember what I did with it, but I did have this comic. Punisher meets Archie. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You had this one.
I did. There was a Punisher meets Archie, where Punisher is in an Archie comic, and then they had an Archie meets Punisher, where Archie was in a Punisher comic.
No way.
Yeah.
So they crossed over the two universes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember what happens.
Are they in the same universe? Do we know?
No. No. Archie's in the same universe as Ninja Turtles, though.
How do we know this?
Because Archie Comics was one of the comic labels that Ninja Turtles used to be printed under.
Interesting.
I don't know if they still are under Archie Comics, but they were.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love Ninja Turtles.
But yeah, so among other things, Punisher had made a lot of team-ups.
Yeah.
Even including
Archie.
Riverdale's own Archie.
Archie Andrews, the Red Paladin.
Yeah. So getting back to the current continuity, after that Frank and Castle stuff, he gets resurrected. He's back to being human. As if all that never happened.
Rewatched it. Like, fuck.
This was fun. This is fun, but let's bring it back to what Punisher is.
Chalk it all up to be some bad spell casting. And
like a one-off.
Right. Hey, welcome back, Frank.
Yeah. So, recently there was this big event. I think it was the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
But it was an event where it was the regular Marvel continuity versus the Ultimate Universe continuity. And the result of this battle was a fusion of the two continuities, and this results in the current all new, all different Marvel. So this is Marvel's first real reboot. DC's done like 5 in the last 20 years, whereas 30 years they've done like 5.
Well, they just did it again right now, didn't they?
Yeah.
So 52.
New 52, yeah, that was in the last 5 years.
Oh, then they're redoing some of them again. Like Flash just got reworked again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, they reboot way too much. They rewrite way too much.
Write better, rewrite less.
Yes, but Marvel, they're doing their first effective reboot, which is the all new, all different Marvel. So before all this happened, though, during this war, Kingpin was having a end of the war party with all the different criminals that are allied with Kingpin. So I don't know who was all at this party, but Kingpin decided to have a end of the world bash. And at this end of the world bash, Frank shows up, kills them all, including the Kingpin. Kills them all.
Bye.
Punisher gets his happy ending. He ends up killing... he ends up getting his happy ending. He successfully killed all the criminals.
And this was right before they reset the timeline.
That's right.
So, alright, they gave it to him.
Yeah, they gave it to him.
Here you go, Frank. Throw you a bone. Did make you a fucking monster and make you fight an army of samurai. So here's your happy ending. Killed all the criminals.
Yeah. Job well done.
Puts his feet up for one day and then boom, timeline resets.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so good. So good.
So in all new, all different Marvel, all new, all different Punisher, one of the first arcs that got written apparently is getting a really high praise. was he's in this story arc where let me scroll up my notes here. Only live from so there's a new villain that gets introduced. His name is Face. Face is pretty much a serial killer. He kills people and then skins their face and mounts them as trophies onto his wall, or sometimes even wears those faces like the chameleon.
So Leatherface.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Is he from Texas?
I don't know. Possibly, considering the next line. So, so Face is responsible for a new drug being distributed. I forgot what the drug was called. I didn't write down the name of the drug. But this drug causes immunity to pain and enhanced strength. Not Captain America level strength, but enhanced strength.
Miracle.
Pretty much. So Punisher is trying to get to the bomb, stop this drug from getting out and to kill whoever's responsible for this.
Yep.
And in his investigation, his pursuit of finding the source of this new drug, he ends up on this farm where there's this man named Josiah and his daughter Juniper. So Juniper is like this 4 or 5-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So when I don't know exactly what are the events that lead up to this, but Josiah ends up strapping bombs to his 4-year-old daughter or 8-year-old daughter, Juniper.
Okay.
Yeah. Or else Punisher, like to get at the Punisher or to kill the Punisher. So Punisher ends up saving the little girl, defusing the bombs and whatnot, but this was just to show people how dark and how gritty they are willing to go now. Because Punisher has always been limited by trying to make it more family friendly. Even though he's always been a violent character, the writers never really went all out with him. They didn't go as brutal as they can be. So this all different Punisher, they're going brutal. They're going where no writers would want to go.
R-rated.
Yeah, very R-rated.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, this Josiah guy just straps bombs to his daughter to get to the Punisher. And I was watching somebody review this, and they made a good point. This is very realistic because, like, in like real life terrorists, they won't be doing like evil mechanism schemes and they will put a bomb on an 8-year-old girl to go kill their target.
Yeah.
So.
Or they'll just put a bomb on themselves and walk out.
Exactly.
Like.
So.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
So he's getting a very realistic rewash.
Yes.
Less letting people getting away.
Yes.
Less. Yeah.
Although Face does get away. Face does become a reoccurring villain in the Punisher.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad if he has a few reoccurring people.
Yeah.
You can always shoot him a bit and let him get away.
Yeah. Just like Jigsaw. So there's one thing I wanted to point out. Speaking of Jigsaw, one thing I want to point out in the Netflix series, they made Jigsaw Punisher's best friend. They went to war together.
They changed that a bit.
Yeah. In the comics, a lot. In the comics, Jigsaw is just like an Al Capone criminal.
Street level gangster.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing special about him. He is a decent hand-to-hand combatant, but that's it. He doesn't have military training or anything like that. So that's one difference about that. But he's still very important to the Punisher story. He is Punisher's main villain.
Yeah. Okay. And we get to see his face just get torn apart at the end of
man, that was so brutal. So brutal.
All right, take me through it. Give me a play-by-play.
So, in the end of The Punisher Season 1, if you haven't watched this, spoilers, it's brutal, it's fantastic, it's very difficult to watch.
I liked it.
Where Punisher is fighting Russo.
Yeah.
Billy Russo. He's fighting Billy
on the carousel.
In the carousel at the park. One thing led to another where Punisher ends up smashing Billy's face against the
glass.
The mirror.
There's like a two-way mirror.
Yeah, that's in the center of the carousel. So usually at the center of the carousel there's like this mirror type window. So he ends up smashing his face into that mirror, shattering it, and then just with all his strength, just like cheese grinding his face on the broken window. And the blood curdling scream that the actor for Billy Russo gives is what makes it difficult to watch. Like it is
the sound that they use.
Yeah.
Is they like ground. You hear bone and glass and skin.
It's more the sound than the visual that makes this scene difficult to watch.
Oh yeah, Frank's just like, I don't give a fuck. It's
No.
like the blaze goes over Frank, and you just see him be like,
Yep.
"Just washing my car."
I'm gonna make me some nachos.
Yeah, like he does not care. He's like, I hate you so fucking much.
Yeah.
But he lets him live.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that damage he caused though from the trauma wiped his fucking memory.
Yeah, which was against Punisher's intention. Yeah. He wanted him to remember the pain and the humiliation.
He wanted him to remember who did it.
Yeah.
He didn't remember.
No.
He didn't remember Frank did it. All he remembered was, you're my best friend in the show.
And this evil skull to be afraid of.
Yeah. Yeah, who the fuck's this evil skull? But it was Punisher icon.
That's right.
That's all you saw.
Yeah.
But didn't know it was his buddy Frank.
No.
And that's what season 2
Yeah.
was essentially Vendetta.
Yeah.
Him reclaiming his identity, Frank being like, the fuck, he's still alive? But
His
I don't know if-
mask was terrifying.
it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was like one of those skin pullovers, right? Or no, it was just it
Just
was like the old Jabberwocky dance.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just a plain white expressionless mask. And then he ends up painting.
He draws on it with the Sharpie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like puzzle pieces almost. Like not puzzle pieces, but like scars.
Cracked, deformed, like
Yeah.
plaster and
Yeah.
broken glass and like all the imperfections you could ever
A
think
shattered
of.
face. It looks like a
It
shattered
looks
face.
like a shattered face.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then he gets his at the end of season 2. Frank walks into the little missionary and ends him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, and he's trying to apologize and ask forgiveness, and Frank's just like, true Punisher.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Takes him out.
So, truth be told to the audience watching, this is actually our second take on this Punisher. The first time the footage kind of got lost due to power outage. So this is our second attempt at recording this. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because after we did that, I was on my phone and I ended up Googling, like this news article just showed up on my phone, talking about the St. Louis Police Department that are actually spreading around the Punisher symbol around the neighborhood, showing it. I think it's like an anti-corruption, corrupt cop symbol. Yeah. So, and I don't exactly remember all the details of the article. I started reading. I was with my sister, so I couldn't really read the article fully.
Yeah, just
But-
a quick glimpse.
Yeah, but yeah, I was reading. I'm like, huh, and I'm like, and there's controversy to this, and without a doubt, because like if I saw cops using the Punisher symbol, to me, that's terrifying.
Yeah, you're gonna kill the criminals?
That's what the Punisher does.
Yeah.
You're using the Punisher symbol, it only means one thing: death.
That's what I kind of identify it with.
Yeah,
You gonna die.
yeah, no mercy.
You gonna die, he gonna bring it.
Yeah, no mercy.
I don't care. No excuses.
Yeah,
This is why there's no trial. I'm here.
yeah,
I don't care if you're innocent. Oops.
yeah.
Well, he cares if they're innocent.
Yes.
He'll have remorse. He's not heartless.
No, he'll save the innocent. Yes.
No, say he thinks someone committed a crime and he punishes them for it. Later finds out they didn't. He will feel remorse.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why Punisher usually is pretty thorough. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Doesn't make a lot. I'm sure he's made at least one.
He's made some.
What's a notable one?
I can't think of any, but I'm sure he has.
Oh yeah.
You can't be a good writer without writing in at least one
At least
time.
one setup,
Yeah, where he killed an innocent by accident.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. One more team up I wanted to talk about before we wrap this up. So there's a team called the Thunderbolts. They've been around for a while now. The Thunderbolts are pretty much Marvel's version of Suicide Squad. It's a group of supervillains that are forced to fight for the forces of good, cooperate to fight the forces of other evil.
They're the expendable team.
Yeah, exactly. They were used in Civil War. So the group that joined Tony Stark, that was the Thunderbolts, led by Baron Zemo, and there was a bunch of villains in there. Not a lot of notable villains, but Venom was part of it before Venom ends up joining Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers. Bullseye was part of it as well.
Okay.
But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because after the Skrull invasion, there was a incarnation of the Thunderbolts that is probably my favorite incarnation of the Thunderbolts. Listen to this lineup, okay?
Okay, tell me who.
All right. So this lineup, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Punisher is in it. Okay.
So we'll start with Punisher.
Punisher. You got Elektra.
Okay.
All right. You've got Deadpool.
Okay, solid.
All right. You've got
3 killers.
Yeah. You've got Venom, but Flash Thompson, Agent Venom.
Okay.
Yeah. I am forgetting somebody, but it's all led by the Red Hulk, and the Red Hulk is General Thunderbolt Ross. So Thunderbolt, the Thunderbolts.
Yep.
So it's all led by the Red Hulk. Oh, Red She-Hulk was part of it as well.
Okay, and so are these guys good or bad? What are they? They're just the expendable team.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all bad guys. They're all anti-heroes. So
yeah, because I was gonna say like
Punisher's an anti-hero, Deadpool's an anti-hero, Elektra's an anti-hero, Venom is an anti-hero, Red Hulk is
anti-hero / villain.
Yeah, but he's skated that line. Like,
he tried to be good one time, right?
Yeah.
Tried to be good. We'll give it to him.
And this is Flash Thompson, Agent. This is Agent Venom, Flash Thompson. So is a good guy. So I would rank him under anti-hero. Sure. Red Hulk definitely anti-hero. Red She-Hulk definitely anti-hero.
No, I don't know the Red Hulks. Who are the Red Hulks?
The Red Hulks got introduced in the 2000s, and Red Hulk is Thunderbolt Ross. He is equally as strong as the Hulk.
Right.
But whereas Hulk's anger makes him stronger, Red Hulk's anger makes him burn hotter.
Burn hotter.
Yeah. He's red, and you touch him, it's like lava.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Red Hulk is as strong as the Hulk. Like, Hulk wins out in the end because Hulk's anger fuels his strength.
So he will get stronger, but they match toe to toe.
But Red Hulk defeated the Silver Surfer.
Where Silver Surfer has defeated the Hulk.
Yes.
Alright, so it's best of 3.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go again.
And She-Hulk, the Red She-Hulk, I'm pretty sure is Betty.
Betty from...
Betty Ross. Not Betty, Betty.
Spider-Man Far From Home?
No, not Betty.
Betty?
Bruce's girlfriend. Jenna Ross's daughter.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she becomes the Red Hulk.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And she's bad then?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes. So in the comic that I was reading, that group was going to hell, and they end up accumulating a new member of the Thunderbolts. Okay, so let's run this lineup again. You got Punisher.
Yeah.
You got Elektra. You got Venom. You got Deadpool. You got Red Hulk. You got Red She-Hulk. And now you've got Ghost Rider.
It just got good.
Yeah, oh yeah. That is a lot of power.
That's a
Punisher,
lot.
Punisher, Elektra, and Deadpool are on the lower end, but Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Venom, that's a lot of power.
That's a lot of power. There's a lot of interesting abilities too.
Yes.
Like
yes.
The symbiote and Ghost Rider can do all kinds of fucking shit.
Well, we're gonna do an episode on Ghost Rider, but
yes,
sneak peek to Ghost Rider.
We got another series or movie coming out for him.
Possibly.
In the near future, yeah.
Possibly. I don't see why not. He's a great character.
Absolutely. Oh, he was always one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But So, sneak peek to the Ghost Rider episode, and something to whet your appetite with. During World Breaker Hulk, we'll do an episode of Hulk to really talk about World Breaker Hulk, but during World Breaker Hulk, where Hulk comes back to Earth to kill people, like he's out to kill Professor Xavier and Tony Stark. Like I said, I'll go in details. I'm not going to go in details in this episode. Just so you know, there is a series called World Breaker Hulk where Hulk comes back to Earth and he's looking to kill the Illuminati. And Ghost Rider ends up going up against this Hulk. So this Hulk here was so angry, every step he took caused earthquakes that could shatter all of New York. A step. That's how strong he was.
That's strong.
So, Ghost Rider ends up going up against this Hulk. And it was revealed, Hulk ends up winning in the end, but it was revealed during this fight that the only reason why Hulk won against Ghost Rider is because of the human host for Ghost Rider is limiting Ghost Rider's power. If Ghost Rider was in a more powerful host, Ghost Rider has the potential to be more powerful than the Hulk.
Wow.
Stronger, more invulnerable. Yeah. Yeah. What some people don't realize, Ghost Rider is one of Marvel's most powerful characters. Earth-based characters.
It's an entity? It's
a spirit.
It's a spirit.
It's a demon.
Is it a demon?
It is a demon.
I didn't know it was a demon.
Yes.
Okay, so I knew it was like a spirit or entity that basically
it's the spirit of vengeance, but it's a demon.
Bonds with your soul.
Yeah.
So, because it was the old man and it became, well, the young guy, and now in that fight, who was the Ghost Rider?
I'm pretty sure it was Johnny Blaze.
Oh, so it was Johnny.
Yeah. Pretty sure it was Johnny. Might have been the new guy, but I'm pretty sure it was Johnny.
Okay, so they just need to find a stronger host.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so got off topic. I just want to talk about the Thunderbolts real quick, because Punisher was part of it. And just to show that Punisher has made team-ups before. Has been part of teams before. Not very often. A lot of people don't like Punisher. Punisher rubs most people the wrong way.
Yeah, he rubs them into the dirt.
Yeah. But I think that's everything I had to talk about the Punisher.
I think that wraps it up for today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next, this week, since we'll be running this episode prior to our regular scheduled 8 p.m. Saturday show.
Yes.
We'll be having Arrow.
Yes. DC's Green Arrow, the Emerald Archer.
Right, so we got one Marvel killer going into a DC killer.
Yeah.
I like it. So, stay tuned for next week's episode following that, and be prepared for Arrow, or Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for joining us for the Punisher episode.
Thanks, guys.
Take 2 finally paid off.
Yeah, no
And-
power outage.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right, so have a good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.
See ya.